Hello, Shari. Tell us about your background so everybody can get to know you.
Very good. Well, yeah, so I am I've been treasurer for CAP and I have been for the past couple of years, and so it's been a really cool opportunity for me to do that. I am a hypnotist, so I come from that background and had the opportunity to participate in the group initially many years ago. And uh, this is really a cool element that I'm kind of stepping into in terms of really working with people and changing their thoughts. So I consider myself to be a cognitive behavioral hypnotist.
Okay. Okay.
So that means that I focus a lot on your thoughts and on your behaviors and on using hypnosis as a tool to help you change those behaviors.
Right. And I think that's the beauty of CAP, that the range of professionals that are part of the organization, they bring different ways of approaching change, behavioral change, emotional support, right?
Mhm.
Um, Tell us a little bit about your next workshop, Rewiring Your Brain, please.
Yeah. So what I've again discovered is that I sometimes clients make changes really fast, and that's cool. But what I'm kind of focusing on in this one is as we're going through and doing this process of rewiring, really looking at changing those behaviors through a lot of through some repetition. So one of the things that I'm working on is a free 3-day challenge that is a self-directed challenge for participants to be able to go through and work on, and they're able to make some of those changes on their own with both video, audio recordings, text, worksheets that help people make those changes. So when we look at how these elements go forward, how do we support ourselves in making these changes and working on the underside? So we and hypnotists kind of work on the subconscious mind rather than the conscious mind, and we have to kind of like butt our heads against the conscious mind. So we kind of go behind it. And that's kind of our focus. We're working on going behind the conscious mind and working on rewiring behaviors, thoughts, all those goodies.
Super interesting. And I like that it's science-based. Let me ask you a question. Why now this topic? Because it's a very interesting cat age type of topic that you're choosing.
I work with college students. I teach at the college level communications classes,
Ah,
but I'm also a woman who is over 40. And I'm realizing that there's all these changes that are happening in my body,
yeah.
and I call it the rules have changed. The way of us having whatever you did when you were in your 20s, and you try to do it now, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to drop some weight because I'm doing that thing," and then your body doesn't do that. It's
Of
like,
course.
oh, the rules have changed. So I can't operate that way. What is valuable here now is to really become more in touch with your body and pay more attention. So the idea of the connection between the mind and the body is really important. And so that's a really big area that I'm focusing on is how do we reconnect the body and the brain? I talk about the Clean Play Club. And it's funny when you talk about this, you could talk about it from people from different countries, different parts of the country. And you say, okay, your parents told you eat all the food on your plate because they're starving people in fill in country here. And I've had India, Africa, uh, I've had
Yeah.
China, and we've also had someone from outside of the United States in New York. They were told by their family they're starving children in New York. So when we laugh about that, it's funny because what happened is we ended up making our food be more important than our bodies and not paying attention to when our body was full and what our bodies need. And Now it's important. Now we're over 40. You could ignore it when you're younger. Can't ignore it anymore. Now you gotta
Absolutely.
pay attention to what's happening with your body and be more in touch with that.
Super interesting because in the examples that you're given is how many people uh, behave based on trauma. Traumatic messages from parents, educators, environment, right? So this is really very, very interesting. Um, what are the outcomes that people should expect throughout the challenge?
I think the thing that we're doing is we're teaching you, right? We're teaching you how you can do this. And part of that job, at least in the case of the worksheets, is to really have you take a look at some of your current thought processes
Oh,
around these
good,
things.
good,
So
good.
rather than them being unconscious and you're not really understanding what's running you, you're having a little bit more of awareness and have a little bit more knowledge about what those thoughts are. And then once you understand them and you go, oh, that's what I've been thinking, let me shift those and let me be really intentional about what that looks like going forward so I can make choices about what that looks like and I can encourage behaviors that are healthy for my mind, my body, uh, my spirit, my whole self so that it's if things are aligned.
Mhm. Super. And how is the format of the challenge? Um,
Yeah, so the format.
because you mentioned videos and audio, right?
So I do have an opportunity for people who are interested in um, doing this as a group. So there is a part of this challenge if people are interested in participating in that, where it would be a 3 day a 3 day basically challenge.
Wow,
Then the group would have an opportunity to connect over those 3 days. So there's a community that's part of it, but then also it would be an actual class or meeting time. We
perfect.
would have a little bit more teaching that would go on during that period of time.
Good.
Would have an opportunity to participate in that. So that's another um, piece that goes with that. But the element of the self-directed part that has got those elements, the video, some text. It is research based because I am a college person anyway, and I can't help it. That has the audio and the worksheets. So those elements
Fantastic.
for anyone that's just even in just a self-directed portion.
I think it's great that CAP can offer a taste of what means to rewire your brain, and that maybe having someone that works on that and you can rest assured that she knows what she's doing, right?
Yeah, I think I started studying hypnosis in 1991. So
Good.
it's
Yeah.
I've had a little time in seat. I've had a little experience.
Of course. Yes, of course. Fantastic. Thank you so much. This was really very enlightening.
Thank you so much, Mariana. Thanks.
Bye bye, Shari. Bye bye, everybody.